Shut the up. I don't give a dude. Look at this. Look at this. He's fighting a professional.
Joe Rogan just went off on Jake Paul after the YouTuber turned boxer abruptly pulled out of the highly anticipated fight with Mike Tyson and casually announced a new opponent for July 20th. It's as if Jake thinks he's the king of the fight. World rescheduling and canceling bouts like he's picking a Netflix show. But Joe Rogan has had enough of the drama. On a recent episode, Rogan tore into Jake, calling out his manipulative tactics and warning the next opponent of what they might be walking into. According to Rogan, no one expected Jake to be this calculated. But here we are. It all started when Rogan personally reached out to Jake, urging him to take the Tyson fight seriously. Mike Tyson is the greatest heavyweight of all time, Rogan said. I don't think anyone wants to play games with him. But Jake didn't listen, and now he might be digging himself into a deeper hole than he realizes.
Beat Larry Holmes. I think that Mike Tyson is the best heavyweight of all time. I don't think anybody fucks with him.
Always the realist. Joe Rogan tried to drop some serious wisdom on Jake Paul. He basically told him, dude, don't bite off more than you can chew. Tyson is no joke. But in true Jake Paul fashion, the cocky young fighter shrugged it off. He laughed in the face of Rogan's warning, mocking both Joe and Mike Tyson as old and washed up, acting like he was invincible, untouchable by anything or anyone. As the fight date approached, the buzz was electric. Fans were practically salivating at the thought of Jake trying to back up his big mouth against the living legend, Iron Mike. But just as the hype reached a fever pitch, Jake did the unthinkable. He announced that the fight was off. The news hit harder than one of Tyson's punches. Shockwaves rippled through the fight world. Joe Rogan's prediction had come true, and suddenly, Jake's arrogant laughter turned into nervous excuses. Rogan's reaction was swift and cutting. I can't believe this kid is backing out after all that talk, he said, echoing the disappointment felt by millions of fans. For weeks, Jake had run his mouth, painting himself as a fearless warrior ready to take on a beast like Tyson. Now, he looked like someone who couldn't handle the heat. Joe's frustration was raw and unfiltered. He didn't sugarcoat it. He warned that this move could haunt Jake's career forever. I've never seen anyone like Mike Tyson in his prime, Rogan emphasized. You had to be just to survive in the ring with that man. Jake had a golden opportunity to prove himself, and he blew it.
Cassius Clay, I never saw anybody who looked like Mike Tyson in his prime. I think you can't maintain the kind of focus that was required to be this guy.
Joe Rogan didn't just voice his disappointment. He went deeper, breaking down the serious consequences of Jake Paul's sudden decision to cancel the fight with Mike Tyson. According to Rogan, this wasn't just a blown opportunity in the ring. It was a move that could permanently tarnish Jake's reputation, not only in the boxing world, but with his own fan base. This was Jake's moment to prove he was more than just hype, Rogan explained. By walking away, he shot his own credibility in the foot. But if Jake thought he could dodge the consequences, he was dead wrong. Mike Tyson, never one to be taken lightly, isn't letting this slide. In a stunning move that's rocking the fight world, Tyson has dropped a $350 million lawsuit on Jake Paul, and it's no publicity stunt. This is real legal warfare. The lawsuit stems from Jake's abrupt cancellation, which triggered a massive financial fallout. We're talking about millions lost in ticket sales, pay-per-view revenue, sponsorship deals, the entire fight economy, by backing out. Jake didn't just disappoint fans. He disrupted a multi-million-dollar operation. Tyson's legal team is going in for the kill, determined to hold Jake accountable for what they're calling a breach of contract on an unprecedented scale. For Jake Paul, the stakes are higher than ever. If Tyson wins, Jake could be forced to cough up $350 million. That kind of loss isn't just a financial setback, could be a career-ending blow. Even for someone as flashy and financially flush as Jake, this lawsuit is enough to cause cold sweats. But more than money, Tyson's making a statement. You can't treat boxing like a content stunt. This is about respect, commitment, and honoring your word not just to your opponent, but to your fans and the entire sport. Tyson's lawsuit has ignited a firestorm in the boxing world, sparking a broader conversation about professionalism and accountability. Promoters, fighters, and fans alike are watching this play out, knowing the outcome could reshape how contracts are enforced and how fighters conduct themselves. With this bold legal move, Tyson is standing up for the integrity of boxing, setting a powerful precedent. You don't flake on a fight and expect to walk away clean. Now, Jake Paul, the self-proclaimed king of controversy, is cornered. The pressure is on. The lawsuit has him on the ropes, and his carefully curated public image is clashing with the brutal reality of a $350 million legal war. And to think, this is the same guy who promised the world. On July 20th, Mike will be put to sleep. He will feel my power. I will go down as the man who put Tyson to sleep for the last time. Instead, Jake might just be the one getting knocked out by the courtroom, not the canvas.
Is on July 20th, Mike will be put to sleep, and he will feel my power, and I will go down as the man who put Tyson to sleep for the last time.
Tyson's legal team isn't messing around. They've built an airtight case detailing every dollar lost due to Jake Paul's last-minute cancellation. The lawsuit focuses on breach of contract, lost revenue, and the damage done to reputation and future earning potential. But this isn't just about recovering money, it's about holding Jake accountable for backing out of one of the most hyped fights in recent memory. Public reaction to the lawsuit is mixed. Some fans are cheering Tyson on, thrilled to see Jake being held responsible for what many see as a reckless, selfish move. Others are defending Jake, arguing that his health and safety should come first, especially when facing a powerhouse like Mike Tyson. Still, Tyson's supporters insist this goes far beyond just one fight. To them, this lawsuit represents something much bigger: integrity, professionalism, and respect. In the world of combat sports, they believe Jake's decision to pull out after weeks of trash talk and promotion disrespected not only Tyson but the entire sport. Enter Joe Rogan, the veteran UFC commentator and one of the most respected voices in combat sports, unleashed a firestorm of criticism following Jake's decision. Rogan, known for calling it like it is, was furious, and it showed you could practically see steam coming out of his ears. One listener said after Rogan reacted live on his podcast, as news of the cancellation spread, Rogan's commentary only got sharper. There's not a chance in hell Jake Paul would have survived in the ring with Mike Tyson, Rogan said flatly. And now, instead of stepping up, he's backing down. Rogan's raw reaction echoed the frustration of fans everywhere. Fans who had been promised a spectacle, only to be left with legal drama and disappointment. Whether Jake's move was about self-preservation or cold feet, the fallout is undeniable. And with Tyson's $350 million lawsuit looming, the consequences for Jake Paul could be
that Jake Paul would survive against the Mike Tyson that beat Mike.
With frustration dripping from his voice, Joe Rogan laid it all out, raw, honest, and unfiltered. This was Rogan at his blunt best, saying what so many fans were already thinking. Jake Paul was in way over his head with Mike Tyson. Rogan's straightforward assessment hit home. This wasn't just another exhibition match, it was supposed to be the defining moment in Jake's boxing career. And then, just like that, it slipped through his fingers. What really stung, Rogan emphasized, wasn't just the decision to back out, it was the opportunity Jake had just thrown away. This was more than a personal setback. It was a massive hit to Jake's credibility. He had a golden chance to silence his critics, Rogan said, to prove he was more than a loudmouth. But instead, he walked away. And Rogan wasn't about to let that go unnoticed. He made it crystal clear. This fight could have been a turning point, something that redefined Jake Paul's standing in the sport. Instead, Jake's withdrawal sent a different message, one that raised questions about his heart, his grit, and whether he ever belonged in the ring with legends like Tyson. The reaction from the boxing community was just as intense. Rogan's commentary sparked a broader conversation about what it really means to be a fighter. Jake hadn't just canceled a match, he'd drawn a bold line between showmanship and sportsmanship. And whether he meant to or not, he had exposed that divide for everyone to see. But here's the twist. Mike Tyson didn't cancel the fight, he postponed it. That one decision said everything about Tyson's commitment, not just to the sport, but to his fans. Despite facing a serious health scare, Tyson chose to delay rather than walk away. That's the kind of dedication that defines true champions. By postponing the bout instead of scrapping it altogether, Tyson sent a powerful message. He's not just fighting for a paycheck, he's fighting because he respects the game, because he understands what it means to show up no matter what. Sure, fans were disappointed. The showdown everyone was counting down to had been pushed back. But overwhelmingly, the reaction has been one of support for Tyson's health, for his professionalism, and for his willingness to keep his word. As Rogan said, sometimes when you play with fire, you get burned. And right now, Jake Paul's feeling the heat not from Tyson's fists, but from the consequences of a decision that may haunt him for years to come.
Today was the day, play with fire.
Fans and fellow athletes have sent their wishes for Tyson's speedy recovery, showing they understand the gravity of the situation in the meantime. Tyson's training has come to a screeching hell, known for his intense and rigorous training sessions. Tyson was in hardcore prep mode for the fight with Jake Paul, his trainer Rafael. Cordo has always been vocal about Tyson's dedication and work ethic. We cannot talk about 57 years old. It does movements that kids with 21 years old cannot do. He does movement that people with young age cannot do. So I can measure 57 years old with 20 years old.
He does movements that kids with 21 years old cannot do. He does movements that people with a young age cannot do. So I can measure 57 years old with 20 years old. I cannot.
There are plenty of lessons Jake Paul could be learning from the legends who came before him, but instead, he's too busy running his mouth and tossing shade like it's a full-time gig. But let's be honest, will Jake finally get the wake-up call he so clearly needs? Will he actually face the consequences of all his antics? Or is he going to slip away once again, untouched and unbothered? One thing's for sure, this saga is far from over. The drama is only getting deeper, and you won't want to miss what happens next in this wild, unpredictable ride. Stay tuned.